Hello and welcome to Bored Stupid. My name is Wayne.
And I'm Matt.
And sometimes you just want a bit of a punch up. You want a bit of a fight. You want to control your territory and kick everyone else out of it. And in fact, sometimes I might want your territory, Matt. You can give it to me.
So you're talking about area control?
I am talking about area control, like elbowing people out
So
and
I think
controlling their areas.
And I got the perfect game. Risk. No? No.
Not Risk.
No.
So of all of the games we're going to talk about today, Risk is not one of them. Because this, Matt, what is this video?
Is 5 alternatives to Risk that actually are good games.
Spicy take.
Yes,
That are actually
absolutely.
good
We
games.
made, we said it. And we're going to try to give you 5 area control games that actually are good games.
And are amazing games.
Yeah, absolutely. Each one with a different twist, but we stay with the alternative to Risk. So it's
Yeah.
going to be very much like war-oriented.
Exactly. And we'll talk about exactly what that means with alternatives to Risk after this message. In terms of area control, Matt, I want you guys at home to control the area of this button and then click it.
You need to click it so you can control the subscribe area and you can win the game. So if you do it, click, 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 click.
You win, easy.
You won. Yeah.
There you go.
And after that, check the link into the description for the Into the AM. So Into the AM is our partner that produce these fantastic graphic t-shirts and a lot of geeky stuff.
Wonderful casual wear as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So definitely have a look to the website. We give you with disco with a Bored Stupid code or following the link, you got a 10% discount on top of any other discount that you can find on the website. For example, there was like a buy 3, like pay 2 buy 3 or stuff like that. The 10% is on top, so most likely it's gonna cover all the shipment and all that stuff. So I think it's a nice thing, and so check out the link.
And then once you've done that, you've done all your shopping, let's do some area control.
Let's do some war.
So Matt, everyone knows Risk, right? It's the game of global conquest where you are chucking dice, trying to control different regions and nations.
Yeah, it's one of those games that when you speak with your colleagues in the office or stuff, they're saying, "Oh, I play board games all day."
Oh, you mean
you play Risk
or Monopoly or one of those? It's one of those three things.
Yeah, it's always make me sad. Scrabble. Again, Risk is a game that everybody knows. It's been on the market for what, like 40, 50 years or something like that.
Absolutely.
There are thousands of different versions. No one is good. We're talking about the general idea is territorial control, is area control.
It's a map, it is area control, there is some sort of conflict involved. That we've sort of boiled it down to these requirements, and then everything else is kind of optional and sort of a variation on top
of the theme. Yes.
We wanted to strip out everything we don't like about Risk, which is going on forever, just random dice chucking. This way, it's all basically
just like one tank against 25, and I don't know, you lose. And it's like how that was possible. So
so we're taking all of that out of the equation and giving you instead some amazing games, 5 amazing games that take the basic principles of what Risk is. And give you a much better experience. Matt,
cool. Let's start with number 5. Let's start with the first one on the list. We're not specifically talking about human wars, but we're talking about wars in the wild animal kingdom.
In the animal kingdom. And there is a tremendous game by Pandasaurus Games called The Wolves. The Wolves is such a phenomenal game, and why I don't own a copy, I don't know. Simon, our colleague at the podcast, owns a copy of The Wolves, and I thought, I won't need a copy of it.
I think we shouldn't.
But now I do. I think I do need a copy of it. It's a tremendous game. It doesn't have the war theme of Risk, but it has it in principle, where you are competing packs of wolves trying to assert your dominance over the territory and landscape. So you have this hexagonal-based map, where you're going to be going out with your pack of wolves, trying to dominate areas, make your lair, and hunt the different prey that will appear on the map, and try and dominate other wolves with your louder howl and your bigger alpha males. It's a tremendously designed game with one of the most amazing action selection mechanisms.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's a very cool mechanism. Yeah.
Super cool. You have these double layer tiles with different terrain on each side of the tiles. And to do different actions, you're going to be flipping different combinations of tiles, either 2 or 3 or more matching types of terrain. When you flip them, obviously on the other side is different terrain.
Yeah.
So you need to constantly be thinking about your next move.
The next turns.
Say I want to do something that costs me 3 terrain. I'll flip them over. I'll do my action in the terrain that I've chosen that flipped. Yeah. But then the next turn, all of those are different now. And so I need to make sure that when I'm flipping, I'm one step ahead of myself. As well as all of that, you're going to be upgrading your player board, making your layer better, making your wolves move faster, be smarter, be stronger. Just a tremendous game. I mean, it's...
and the production is so good.
Production is amazing. Incredible.
The artwork, production.
It's amazing.
It's the usual Pandasaurus level. So
absolutely.
Really, really high.
Brilliant stuff. Plays 2 to 5 players. Gets out of the way in about 90 minutes or slightly less. It's just a brilliant game, mate. I mean, it got a little bit of hype when it came out. I think it was last year or the year before at the latest. But I think it's right up there.
Yeah,
And it's one that we have to recommend to you as our number 5.
Oh.
So Matt, we started a little bit out of the ordinary, a little bit avant-garde. We went sort of walls, but what if people want like the war feeling?
Now we talk about war.
What is it good for?
This is a legendary game.
You didn't do the song. Absolutely nothing is what it's good for. Oh, no, carry on. Sorry.
I'm not sure what he's talking about, but fair enough. What we're talking about is a 1 vs 1 game. It's a legendary game, early 2000, I think, or something like
2005.
2005. And it's Twilight Struggle. This is a game that I've been introduced by my girlfriend like many years ago, and I still haven't won a single time. Twilight Struggle is again a 1 vs 1 area majority control set into the Cold Wars. So one player plays as the US, one play as the USSR. And basically you play through, there's a card mechanisms going through, and you basically play through like real scenario
from like the Cold War era. So
yeah, exactly. So you will have you will try to, I don't know, do the space run. So you can decide if you want to push on the space run rather than doing stuff on the territories, or you need to try to control certain territories to have the majority of that area. Is quite an heavy game.
Very heavy game, I think, isn't it?
It's not one that you will pick up and I got half an hour.
So a quick game of Twilight Struggle.
But it really got you that area majority feeling and that Cold War feeling.
That feeling of risk where you're pushing it in different areas.
Yeah, exactly. Because each turn you will decide to get more control on this or that country, but then you may lose something, and then depending on the event that is happening that turn, which card you're playing or your opponent's plays, you might lose some of them. So it means that you lose the majority of that specific area. It is heavy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I still haven't found out how to win, but maybe one day. But it's a really, really good game.
Yeah, an absolute classic at this point. So if you are into the heavier side of board games, and if you haven't played this yet, certainly search it out. It holds up even still to this day. It's Twilight Struggle, and there is a new version of it based on an entirely new war that might be worth looking out for as well. So, Twilight Struggle. Okay,
now we go into more of a Celtic theme, and we were just discussing Celtic or Celtic, because I will say Celtic, but Wayne is the British one to say Celtic. But
you're allowed to be wrong, but it is Celtic. Yeah, it's fine.
Also Celtic.
Yeah, but that's the Americans.
Can you imagine someone who go like, go Boston Celtic? It just like doesn't. Anyway, we're talking about another legendary game, and the game is
Inish. Inish is a tremendous game. It is area control done very wonderfully and very interestingly using card drafting as the key mechanism.
amazing.
Where you have, and we love card drafting.
It's
Great mechanism.
It's such an amazing game.
It's such an amazing game.
Yeah.
It has a limited pool of cards that you will always see the same cards coming over and over again. So each time you draft, it is very important. You do the draft at the beginning of the round and you know exactly what you're giving up, and it hurts every single time. You're like, oh, I'm going to give you this. Oh, no.
Yeah.
And then you're set for that round, and then you play your round, and then the draft starts again. This game is wonderful because each one of those cards is tremendously impactful. You'll play it and you'll move your people on the map, which is a modular tile-based map. It's really interesting, funky tiles with great artwork.
And how the first time they came up that I played, remember how did they gonna fit together? They actually fit all the tiles.
They fit great.
It's great. Yeah,
great game. And you'll either be adding new people to the map, or moving them to new territories, or adding new buildings to the map as well.
Yep.
It is, or doing like a defensive play. It's a wonderful, wonderful game where you have this great deterministic combat as well. So it's not like you're chucking dice. You literally lose person to person. So you throw 5 bodies in and you've got 5 defending. They're all gonna die.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure that you are adequately reinforcing your troops when you move in. There's also the most polite combat I've ever seen in games, where at any point you can both be like, do you want to stop now?
Yeah, it's like, all right, we'll stop and we both retire.
We'll just stop. Let's leave it like that. And they're like, okay, let's leave it like that. It really is quite interesting in that way, right?
It is.
After each round, you want to stop? No, we'll carry on. You'll stop? Yeah, okay, we'll stop now. It's an amazing game. And you have these great god cards as well. When you build up enough favor for the gods, you get these tremendous favor cards. And they are amazing with great artwork and they're all very impactful. What a game, Matt. What a game this is.
I think at this point, it's been up on every top 10 ever. I think it's such an amazing game. It's super well designed. It's got a few years now, but the mechanics and how it rolls, it just like feels like brand new, like
every single time. It gets out of the way pretty quickly as well. A very smooth game, great interesting theme. Couldn't recommend it more. I thoroughly recommend getting it with the expansion. The expansion makes sure that the end game doesn't drag on too long. There is with a lot of players, it can sort of go a bit funky, but the expansion totally fixes that. It also adds a whole bunch of extra cards to it, and also ports as well, which makes that really interesting.
Pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely. So definitely check
Inish. So Matt, there are obviously so many amazing area control style games out there that have great maps and great ways that you can play. There's a really good designer that is really good at this sort of stuff.
There is a guy, Mr. Lang.
Mr. Eric Lang.
That designed probably the 3 most famous at this point area control
dudes
games.
on a map type games. Yeah.
And we're talking about the trilogy, the Lang Trilogy.
The Lang Trilogy, the Lang, mythological trilogy.
That include Rising Sun, that is set like in medieval mythological Japan. We got Blood Rage, that is more like a Berserker Viking stuff.
Ragnarok, End of the World.
And then we got Ankh, that is set in mythological Egypt.
Yeah.
3 different games. They're not the same games. However, they all got the area control as a part of the mechanics. Each one with its own twist. Blood Rage is the more aggro game. That is more like about the fighting, the area
and
control,
the card draft as well.
Rising Sun instead, you got all
political as well. Very political base. And then Ankh, Gods of Egypt is again very different. Very interesting blend of how you move your god around, because you have one invincible piece that never dies, and that makes that really interesting.
Yeah, but which one is your pick for this list?
My pick, because it's my second favourite game of all time, is Rising Sun. I love the political layer that goes over this game, which is very, very intriguing, where you and your ally, as long as they are your ally, will be working together, picking political mandates to influence what you're going to be doing on that turn. And that's going to be happening all the way through the season until suddenly, at the end of the season, war happens. And then you'll be fighting over areas of Japan in a very interesting, exciting, and like brain-burning combat system that I've never seen anywhere since, where you'll be bidding, doing literally a bidding system, like a secret bid on different actions using the resources that you've got over the season, and then you reveal it at the same time, and you'll get to do the actions that you've bid the most on. So exciting.
That's very like a nice twist.
Yeah, amazing twist
to what otherwise would be action-based or dice chucking. So I think, that is it's very much like the multiplayer. And I really like the political side of it. This kind of games when you got like trying to make peace with another player.
You got to make an alliance with someone and you get bonuses for alliances.
And to be honest, that's something that playing Risk always happen in a larger group.
Yeah, don't come and invade this and maybe I won't go over there.
Yeah, exactly. So I do appreciate that side of it.
It's amazing. And then there's also, obviously, if you betray someone, there is an action for that and you'll get a benefit for it, but then also a negative at the same time, which is really exciting. It's such a great game. The artwork is amazing. You've got these great big monsters that you can go and recruit to your...
It's a Simon Productions.
It's ridiculous models.
It's silly big minis.
And they're amazing, by the way. Some of those miniatures are incredible, by the way. It is asymmetric factions, which I love. So where every faction has got a ridiculous game-breaking power to the point where you're like, wait, my faction does what? That's totally broken. And then you'll tell me what your faction is. You'll be like,
one's broken as well.
Broken. Yeah. But the game works. Somehow it is amazing. So I love Rising Sun. But in this, we're kind of cheating because we'll also say, if you don't like that vibe and you want to do more of a card drafting vibe, Blood Rage is your game.
Yes.
If you really want to focus on specifically what is on the map, is your game, which is also probably the best game at 2 players. But if you want a really nice blend of, the dudes on the map, the movement, and then have some political shenanigans as well, Rising Sun is your game, and what a game it is. The final game, Matt, the number one.
The boss, the daddy.
The daddy, the papa.
This is the game that is from 1995.
It's the OG.
It's the OG
area majority.
Yes. And we're talking about El Grande.
El Grande. Where you and your opponents will be Grandes in Iberia, not Spain, trying to take control of various regions of Spain and
medieval Spain.
Medieval Spain, absolutely. And this game is just tremendous. It still holds up. It's like there's a brand new version of it as well, which is part of
that is
the 90s revival, which I'm a big fan of, by the way. And it's wonderful. It has this tremendous system, Matt, where you're going to be bidding on the actions at the start of each round. But you only have a limited number of bid cards. They're all from like 1 to, I think it's 13. If I play my 13, well, I'm definitely going to get the action I want, but that's it. You know that I've played that 13, and
so
my trump card
is plan
around that.
In its simplicity, and each action, of course, some action will let you put more mans on the map.
Some will let you move them.
And some exactly. Each one will help that area majority system. In its simplicity is a wonderful game. It just is wonderfully balanced. And you got the king.
Oh, I love it.
That is a fantastic mechanism that you got. Wherever the king is, in whichever territory the king is, you cannot do any action on
Can't mess with the king. That's like the golden rule.
However, you can bid on the cards that will let you move the king to somewhere else.
Amazing.
Maybe on your own territory, so no one else can come and disturb you while you're conquering that. Is again very simple. You got 3-4 mechanics in total, but wonderfully designed.
This is one of those games where we talk about depth and width, right? When we talk about complexity, El Grande is deep. Where it takes that mechanism, that area majority, and it plays with it and goes as deep as we can in a really simple, not wide, not loads of things to learn, but how it does it is amazing, and it'll play differently every single time.
Absolutely.
As well as the king, which is amazing, Matt, you've got the Castillo.
Oh,
which is the Castillo.
I love it.
Yeah, which is great. So when you're adding your dudes to the map, your little meeples, instead of putting them on the map, you can instead throw them in the Castillo. So during the scoring round, which happens every 3 rounds, you'll open the Castillo, and whoever has the most will get some bonus points. But more importantly, all of the guys that are in the Castillo will go to the region that you secretly choose.
Yeah.
So suddenly you think, oh, Matt's got the majority over there, but I've got 5 dudes in the Castillo. So if I pick, this region in Madrid, and then suddenly when it comes to scoring, boom.
Yeah, that's great. And
great.
And if you see someone else putting a lot of soldier in the Castillo, you might want to, I need to add mine as well.
Add some dudes to the Castillo.
This is the game that if someone tells me like, oh, I love Risk, what board game I should play, this will be my first pick for them. That's why it's top of this list.
100% agree. You could play this with almost anybody.
Yeah.
I think the rules are really super clear. There is no ambiguity in there. Easy enough to learn, but deep enough to play over and over again. We'll play 5 players happily, and in fact is best at 5. And there's not many games that are best at 5. 4 is great as well. 3, okay, but 4 and 5 is where this game is at. Plays in under 2 hours. It's just a magnificent game that still holds up today, and with the brand new printing, Matt, there's never been a better time to get a
We got a copy of the new version. It's absolutely amazing.
It's tremendous. I can't wait to get another game in already. El Grande. So those were 5 tremendous games, and every single one of them, Matt, is better than Risk.
Oh, like 1,000 times. So next time that one of your friends ask you like, oh, I do love board games, I play a lot of Risk, you should be like, no, check this video and you can find better games.
Alternative games to Risk, exactly. And there are tons more out there.
Of course.
So if you know some other ones, you need to let us know in the comments below. Let us know in the comments below. We'd like to know what your picks would be if someone says to you, I really like Risk, but I don't know what else is out there that's kind of like Risk. What games, 5 games, would you recommend to them? And do any of our picks tickle your fancy?
And after you left a comment, make sure to hit the subscribe button, because that's really important, so you can
genuinely
win the area control of our art. And don't forget, if you're out to look some nice t-shirts or geeky wear, just check the Into the AM link in the description below. Use the Bold Stupid code here on the screen for a 10% discount, and just treat yourself.
Just treat yourself, absolutely. Catch you again real soon.
Ciao.